Florida man standing in his sunroof while driving his Cadillac down I-40.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, bringing you that spice to sci-fi and pop culture analysis. And welcome to my Welcome to Florida stream, where we talk about all things Florida man, theme park news, Florida history, especially when it involves members of my family, which it will be again tonight. So let me bring up my illustrious and amazing panels of folks. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Pretty good.
Fine.
Mediocre.
I feel I'm enthused to get this going. I'm excited.
Yeah, cool. I'm excited to be here. How are you, Steve?
Snowed in. Other than that, I'm fine.
That will be me by tomorrow. I think there's about 6 inches of snow on the ground right now. It's supposed to snow all the way through till tomorrow night. So another classic nor'easter. So anybody in the chat, if you're on the northeastern seaboard, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. It's just something else. And Culture, thank you so much for the Unicorn super sticker. You have to do that. Thank you.
Do it.
Do
it, Culture.
Do it. And Teresa is here. Hello, how are you doing, my dear? And she says, all dirt roads lead to Daytona Beach. Some do. Yeah, Theme Park Casual says, hey, kids. Well, hey, how you doing? Glad you're here, Theme Park Casual. Shadzar says, Lorena is late. I have to watch Cats 2019 on TV while waiting. Dude, I'm so sorry.
I didn't make it through the credits of that. We turned it off within the first 2 minutes. We're like, no.
I can't watch that. I just
do it.
I can't. I barely looked at a little bit of the stage play, which, it looked okay, but I wasn't really interested.
You think you got it bad? I have Batwoman playing in the background right now.
Oh.
She just used her grappling hook to literally precisely grab a needle out of a spire's hand with it from a guy wearing a devil mask.
Freak out of here.
From Neo. No, I am not joking.
This is why I stopped watching.
She needed her fix before the next episode.
She had all that training, remember, guys?
Yeah, we didn't see that training montage, remember?
Like Ray's training. I can lift rock.
It was there, right? I know how to use a grappling hook.
Yeah.
Woo!
Hello, theme.
You grapple it and then it hooks, right? That's what happens.
Yep, people exploded. Stieg is snowed in now. Does he mean he is about to start leaking?
Oh.
Funny.
8 out of 10.
Funny.
Stig doesn't leak. Only you leak, Navigator.
Is that a nerd thing?
It's actually Flight of the Navigator quote.
Yeah, it was.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I enjoyed it though.
Good film.
It's been a long time. Hey, El Punk Trace says, hi, Lorena Creole, Mad, Steve, Culture, and Steve. And I gotta, maybe Batwoman's van will get snowed in at the river and she won't be able to make the next episode.
No, that's hoping too much, my friend.
I can't watch it. I mean, I can, but it's freaking painful. I'm just like, no, I didn't know. I finally took it off of automatic record for my cable company. So on my iPad, I can set it to automatically record when it comes on. I just had to get rid of that because that show's a freaking waste of time.
I just watched the e-fapping of it like that. I don't actually watch it.
I couldn't. It was the only, usually when I watch a show, I'm eager to review it, get the video up and upload it. That episode of Batwoman, the first one, it took me 5 days because I just didn't. I didn't want to freaking touch it. I just didn't. Hey, Mr. Londo's Groovy Movies, just got the notice. What did I miss? You did not miss much. We were just welcoming everyone. 15 people watching. Thank you so much. Saying hi to the panel, hi to the chat.
We have a disclaimer. I do promise you that this show will not give you a kryptonite infection. You are safe. Thank you for coming.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I forgot that's how kryptonite works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if she's wearing a kryptonite armor, right?
No. Oh, go ahead.
She won't be able to do crossovers with Supergirl and.
I brought that up before. Yeah, but I don't know who I was talking about that. Yeah, because anytime she gets close, she would weaken a Kryptonian. Yes,
So
her armor is laced with kryptonite. Yeah.
Is she not the new thingy of courage? I forgot what they called it in their crossover where everybody was like
I didn't even
elemental
watch
and Batwoman.
She's the symbol of dope. I mean hope.
Oh God, I don't want to hear about this chick anymore. Maybe you want to hear about this chick, but look at how this is worded.
Sorry, I just read the first 3 words before. I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
Woman. Okay, yeah,
I
on board.
paused. I said, okay, caught on camera, woman with breasts. Why is okay? Isn't that kind of come with the package, or I don't know?
Well,
I don't
never know these days. I mean, there are new women now.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
You just don't have that new woman smell.
Yeah.
Even men can menstruate.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Moving on.
Bro culture.
Like, I'm out. So yes, caught on camera, and dang it, Dade County. Thank you, Miami, for sponsoring Florida man, Florida woman. Yeah, both Florida man and Florida woman.
Florida woman.
Story for today. Woman with breast exposed attacks man inside elevator. Pretty much.
This is like a reverse Ray Rice.
Is that his hat or his hair? Because he looks like he got the Eminem dye job.
No, that's the Cisco. That's the Cisco look.
No. Cisco was singing about his song by now.
Well, yeah, but Cisco also had that hair though.
Yeah.
That's one.
Like,
Does that mean it's a breast development?
I don't know.
It's breast in order.
Very happy to be living in Florida, not Pennsylvania right now. Yeah, I know. My relatives from Florida are going to be calling me.
It's Chesty Mason. Sorry, it was like Perry Mason. Chesty Mason.
So she attacked him inside the elevator. Maybe she wanted to get him up.
Oh,
she wanted to hit every one of his floors.
Yeah.
You think they're both going to be going down?
Well, she will be going down, then up, then down, then up.
Okay. We're only in like 10 minutes. Miami police detectives are working to find out more information about the circumstances surrounding an attack inside an elevator that involved a shirtless man and a woman who had her breasts exposed. But that's pretty much any party in Miami. Pretty much.
Yeah,
right near the beach.
Where are their shoes?
Again, it's Florida.
It's Florida. Shoes are like.
I don't even know why they just say like a shirtless man. Why don't they just say a man in Florida? Like,
I don't know. I guess for people who aren't locals reading this, so they kind of have some frame of reference. Because, like I said, this is pretty much any day in Florida. Not remarkable whatsoever.
Especially in Miami.
oh, what is he striking with?
Oh, well, maybe we'll see.
What? Oh, anyway, so incident was captured on surveillance camera around 2:30 p.m. God, that's too freaking early. Last Thursday inside a building on Northwest 10th Avenue and 7th Street. The video shows the woman striking the man with an unknown object several times. I'd like to know what that unknown object was.
I did too. I have an idea of what it may be.
It was the tennis coach.
Yeah, Mr. Longell.
Matt, I bet you it's one of your MVP awards from Shenanigans.
It could be. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. By the way, this happened before school was even out. Like, what are you people doing? What could happen before 3:00 in the afternoon to where you're beating someone shirtless on an elevator?
This is the moving elevator, right? Because they have the pads up to protect the walls. So It could be any one thing, maybe with stuff, maybe moving, maybe he was peeing in the corner. Who knows?
Who again, this is freaking Miami. Who knows what's going on? I mean, around that time of day, that's when people finally start becoming conscious, the ones who've been partying too hard the night before. So
that's true.
Dead coming back to life. Yes, crispy critters. Don't ask. It's Florida.
That's true. That's very true.
Oh, so continuing on, he put his fists up at one point as she struck him once more. No kidding. Then she put her foot in the front of the elevator door to prevent it from closing as the two continued to argue about something. The man did not report the incidents to police, but officers said they want to speak with him to find out what led up to the altercation. Yeah, we want to know too.
That's the only reason. Like they are not looking for more work. They're not like, well, Bill, we don't have anything else going on today. Let's find out what happened here. No, they're like, dude, that shit's crazy. Let's find out what happened. That's it.
I don't want to write these reports. I just want to know what happened.
Yeah. This one, I want to know, why did some shirtless woman saw some dude in the elevator?
Imagine what it's like to be a judge in Florida.
You can actually see that. There's, oh gosh, what is it? The court that issues orders of protection. That is actually a reality show. Actually saw it while I was in Florida. No joke.
Family court?
No, not family court. I think it was protection court or something like that. Where you go, like if you want to get orders of protection against people and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the whole thing. And all of it is in front of a Florida judge. And I didn't blink when certain sections, one person speaking in Spanish, they got their lawyer there translating, the person on the other side, the defense, they start speaking in Spanish. Their client starts speaking in English, and it's just everybody keeps track of what's going on. It is crazy.
I'm not sure if they still have this, but at the Eagle games, they would always have a judge down in the Eagles court, like a real judge, to handle like whatever would happen. Because Eagle fans are cuckoo bananas in the worst way possible. Yeah, like this one dude threw up on a cop and his family because the cop told him to be quiet, so he had to go to. And at the judge court, like they can you have to pay fines. They can take your tickets away, or they can ban you, and they can send you to jail. There is a judge in the bottom of it was in the vet, but I don't know if it carried on to the link.
No, they still have Eagles jail. Yeah.
Do they in the Eagles judge?
Yeah. Oh yeah. One of my buddies, despite his current location for living, has season tickets for the Eagles, so he actually literally flies to go to all the Eagles games.
Oh, nice.
Lincoln Financial Field.
Yeah, the link.
That sounds eerie.
Yeah.
It's God. Eagles fans are nuts. I used to think Eagles fans were nuts, and then I met Raiders fans, who I don't know who's crazier, but they're probably
Raider fans.
I think they're more murderous.
Yeah. You could die.
I think literally they killed someone at the 49ers game.
Yeah. You can die somewhere between the parking lot and the stadium real easy.
Mm-hmm. You have to watch the Dave Chappelle routine about the difference between Raiders and 49ers. They're fans. You have to watch that.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to look that up.
It's pretty freaking funny and true. So, folks, we got 25 people watching. Thank you so much. This is the Welcome to Florida live stream. And here with my illustrious panel, we just went over our first Florida man and woman story this week. So we got a twofer.
Wait, was there a video with it?
You know what?
It looks like.
Holy crap. Let's see.
We can play it.
Hopefully.
I'm hoping the censored sticker moves.
This is why you...
Oh, here we go.
Okay, he gets in.
Yep, yeah. This normal dude.
Is that a...
Oh no, this is just...
Oh, does that look like... Is that a billy club? Or is that a...
That's a curler.
Hair curler.
Yeah, hair curler. Yeah.
It's either that or it is the tennis coach.
Oh, girl. How could... That's not... I don't
No,
think
she's coming at him for no reason.
that's too light. Look. Really?
I swear to God, his hair was done by Offspring.
Well, she wants to give him curls.
Is he pretty fly for the white guy?
Are they both drunk?
No,
Because
no.
this just looks boring.
By the way, this just confirms like you never mess with a black woman's hair.
No,
Like that has to be it.
You do not. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Let me see. Yeah, because she's got like.
Oh, it's definitely curling iron. Oh my god. What is this? She's doing like a dance with her leg. What?
Oh, wait. I got it. You mean you were just gonna sneak out while I was doing my hair, just that one night stand, and you just taking off now?
That's what it is.
Maybe
she
he's
has
wearing a wig.
that's the shake where you're like, "What are you doing? Why are you just ditching me all of a sudden? Well, I thought we were gonna do something later." Look
Wait
at
a
him. He's
minute.
yeah.
Isn't that
that is correct.
What's his name? Chris Tucker from Fifth Element?
No, that is definitely not Ruby Rod.
Is she doing the pee-pee dance? I don't even understand what's happening here.
I don't understand it. I don't understand why you have to do that, and you're like high beaming somebody at the same time. I just don't.
Maybe she's charging up her leg for a high kick. I don't know what's happening.
Maybe she got the Jimmy leg.
Up.
She's like tapping the B button before she.
Right.
I just.
I
This
want to
just
go.
makes, this just makes no freaking sense. So he's trying to leave, and she's like, no, you don't leave. I'm not finished talking to you.
Sweep the leg.
I'm not finished talking to you.
Sweep the leg.
Don't you like sweep the leg?
She's lecturing him like they know each other. They know each other. He's ditching her.
They're not
Yeah.
strangers. Yes, they do know each other.
They do know each other.
And I don't know whether she's angry that she actually did whatever with him.
Oh no, you know what it is? I think that he left without her. Like he was supposed to wait until she was done getting ready, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna go now."
That kid's kind of car keys down there.
He had keys in his sandals. He's like, I'm peace.
This
That's
was
the next
the
elevator.
This was the get out of jail free card for the walk of shame.
That's the Sinead Day show. Oh my God! All right. Oh man.
I'm so kidding.
Well, let that be a lesson to you. You don't walk off when a black woman's shaking her hair curler at you. That's just, you need to get out the elevator and handle that.
Yeah, no, he tried to do the right thing and separate himself from the situation, but
yeah, and on
he's
camera,
like, "Oh
she's
wait,
the
if I hide her shirts, she won't come after me topless." You know, before he left.
And there's a 90% chance of that working, but unfortunately, she was at crazy 10%.
No, she was just in Florida. So the other state didn't make it work.
You don't
Yeah,
know.
that's true. Well, well,
Have you ever gone after a man topless?
no,
Yeah, I didn't think so.
no.
Oh, I've
No, I've seen my female relatives get really, really pissed at their husbands. I've seen them run after a husband with a 45, but I've never seen one of them do it topless. Usually it's, let me get my top on first. I have never seen it happen, like ever.
I
Ever.
wouldn't say I've been chased by a naked woman, but like followed out of the house while she was yelling at me. So kinda, but like it was in a house, not in an elevator.
Definitely give her props for that. Thank you, Orange, for the $1.99 super chat. Thank you. Said just bought legal, illegal tastes better.
Yeah.
I can understand that. I can understand.
The other thing is he could be sneaking out, and the mom caught him sneaking out of the daughter's room.
Then the mom would have been behind in hot pursuit.
Well, she was with the curling iron. It was very hot and in pursuit.
I
So
don't think that was the mom though.
No.
Yeah.
They just too close in age.
just a thought.
No. Yeah,
They
maybe
had
was
an
it.
established relationship. That's the we know each other, so we're gonna have a conversation, not the No, you were just a booty call. I'm trying to get the heck out of here.
Yeah,
I don't agree with this. I
Which-
never stick your
Really?
D in crazy twice. Is a more accurate.
Dang.
Maybe he just wanted to get the mimosas first.
Are you talking about, like, it's yeah, that's also true. Thank you, Mr. Londell.
Yeah, more than once. Yeah. What's
Well,
that? Isn't it the danger zone? What?
The crazy
eight
scale.
crazy? 8 hot, 8 crazy. That's
Oh,
that's
yeah,
danger.
the crazy hot scale. Yeah, you want to keep it on that line, and mostly you want to stay in the hot side. But
Yeah, like about what is it, like a 8 to 9 hot and like a
yeah, you want to
crazy.
Yeah,
You
that's
wanna-
about perfect. Yeah, you want to keep it just under that crazy level. But the thing is that the girls that just ride that line, that diagonal, that perfect apex, that's the roller coaster. You just want to avoid the roller coaster. I mean, one time on the roller coaster, probably enough. Second time, maybe not so good.
Hey, the John Beck, thank you for the $2 super chat. He says a great distraction. Maybe that's how Amazon's won.
Snoo.
Oh, that's a solid point.
Could be, yeah.
The thing, the leg thing.
I don't think they had curling irons though.
You don't know.
I've watched Wonder Woman. I know.
Yeah, no, their hair was professionally done. There was curling irons on that island.
Oh no, they had the hair of the goddess.
They did, and not only that, they had excellent parkour skills. So there you go.
But Culture, you have amazing hair. Would you chase someone down with a curling iron if you were still prepping it?
I don't use curling iron.
I'm not saying you do. I'm saying as a retrospect.
I guess it depends on how John Davey is wearing his hair. He has to compete with that guy.
His hair is so weird. It has this weird white ice cube sticking out the top of it. It's been bugging me the whole time.
Well, Steve,
Yeah.
would you left like that?
Yeah.
What?
Did I get the name right?
If I would left,
I was just asking your input.
well, I'm sporty. I would have taken the stairs.
Oh, you think Sporty Spice would have taken Scary Spice? That's definitely Scary Spice move.
I think the stairs you would have gotten out of there much quicker. Nah.
Balcony, if you're on the second floor, you say, I'm out.
Yeah, I think this is above the balcony. If this guy's taking an elevator, if he's only like 2 flights up and he took the elevator, that's just freaking lazy.
I've never had anyone chase me with a curling iron before, though.
Oh, first time for everything. Let's see. So we go to our next story. We leave the crazy people in elevators. And then we go to this story, not a Florida man story, but however, it has to deal with alligators. So here, alligator hangs in geothermal water amid sub-freezing temperatures in Colorado. And the story really isn't that the alligator is hanging out in that warm water. The story is what stupid people do trying to get stuff like this on video.
Holy shit.
Now, you heard that noise, right?
That's angry.
That is don't screw with me, and you need to back the heck up. Remember how I told you they will warn you you're getting too close?
Yeah.
Why are there alligators in Colorado? What is happening?
This was
Are we skipping that part?
This
a
was
farm.
Gator Farm, Colorado Gator Farm.
Oh, okay. Well, that seems reasonable. My bad. Go on.
Yeah. So here we go.
It's 18 degrees this morning. You doing okay?
Dude, no.
Stupid.
He got indigestion. He pissed.
No, it is Gojira. No, you're kidding.
Is that baby Godzilla?
Yeah, it might be. Holy crap.
I'm sorry. No, you don't need to be that close. Yes, he's too close and snow is slippery. Yes.
Is anyone else getting Lake Placid vibes right now?
Oh, I am. When I saw this, I was flipping out.
This is going to be Gator 1, stupid human nothing.
Yes. And they had it coming. Why would anybody in their right mind want to be that close when they hear that?
It is a dinosaur.
Gojira.
And you see the teeth. Exactly. Yeah. Gojira.
Dude, take
Oh
five.
my god!
Why are you freaking petting that thing?
I can say this right now. This man has never seen Crocodile Dundee, where she's filling water at the edge of the lake.
No.
He ain't never seen Crocodile Dundee.
I hate this term, but this is peak white privilege. If you think that it's cool for you to touch a dinosaur that will eat you,
This isn't just white privilege. This is stupid privilege.
this is
This is some.
You never see videos of black people doing that stupid thing, though.
No.
That's because
It's
they're
always
white
white
people thing. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
the reason why is because they're filming the white people filming the gator right before they get eaten. That's why.
Shadowstar says, Lorena, you need that for a sound bite. It's so damn clean. Thank you. That's a good idea. Yeah, because whoo, that was like no joke. Hey, Black Superwoman. Only alligator I like is purser boots. I hear you.
Oh, dude, and a jacket. Dude, an alligator jacket is fine.
The next comment cracked me up.
That's a problem with gators. You usually only get to play with them once. Hey, so cold Jeremy. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says, that's gator speak for F around and find out. You got that right. That's going on the clip. That's going on the clip. F around and find out. This has to be Florida man in Colorado. You know what?
Oh no.
It's Florado, man. That's what it is.
Florida. I can't.
Go for it. He's getting ready.
Yeah, he's getting pissed. We want you to eat him.
You see that steam?
Is that an iPhone 6?
I see that steam out of your nostrils one more time.
We want you to eat him.
Oh boy.
We really do.
Dude, I do not want to. I don't want to see a snuff film. This is not good.
No, he's got to be a trainer. I think he's got to be a trainer.
15 degrees Fahrenheit.
That is just nuts.
At first,
I've seen videos of like at Gatorland where they're feeding the gators, they're doing stuff with the gators. The gators are not growling like that.
yeah, no, this wasn't a hey buddy, how's it going? Thanks for coming to see me. Everything's good here.
They're like, yeah, just give me some food. Yep. Give me some food. Give me whatever. I'm cool. Rub my belly. I'm fine. No, this gator looked. This gator sounded pissed.
At first, I was just like, well, maybe he's really zoomed in until I saw his white hand reach. I'm like, oh my no.
It's like nuts. Let me go back to where that was. Where was his hand? Dude, like freaking touched him. Where the heck was it?
Wouldn't the cold harm the gator, though?
Wait, what?
Wouldn't the cold harm the gator, though? I mean, you'd think they're used to warmer climates.
They are, but they have like this warm geothermal pool. So it's like the gators in the warm water.
It's like a hot spring kind of style. It's probably either man-made or controlled by a generator on the outside.
like temperature regular gator.
Yeah. So they're in there nice and happy and warm. Except
that's a force, Dig.
Man, I would turn off that heater and let them all freeze. I'm not messing around with this thing.
I do not want something like that walking around.
But if you use that sound bite, can you imagine having instead of like the guard dog sound people use when motion sensors trigger, you just have the gator sound? It would freak anyone out.
Yeah, dude, I think I would. That's I take 5 giant steps back. That's what that sound is. It's like, okay, it's like when you walk in through the desert and you hear the rattling sound of a rattlesnake. Yeah. You're like, okay, I'm going the other way.
And they're not normally that loud.
No, he grumpy.
Usually very, very low, kind of like, okay, you might want to back up.
I have a question though for the movie buffs. Doesn't that sound kind of sound like a tremor right before when it's shooting the dirt out?
Yes.
It literally sounds like a tremor.
Yeah. Graboid.
Sorry, graboid.
Yeah.
It's just freaking insane. Nope. I am not messing. No. If a gator is growling that loud, he's about 2 seconds from eating you.
Hey, yeah. I would never know because I would never be close enough to hear if he's growling or not.
That's what I exactly what a dummy. Exactly. That's why I can tell this is not really Florida man, because Florida man can do stupid stuff, but pretty much knows if a gator, we don't let gator get that loud. We just hear a hiss. Okay, back up. Yep, we're out. Hey, Soul Assassin. Hey, Lorena, Jill, and Pat. Black Superwoman says, I'm related to that alligator. I warn you, and then it's on. It's a dune sandworm.
It's a crate gator.
It sounds like a crate gator. Exactly. Yeah, crate dragon. Okay, I'm done. Bye-bye then.
That is just, yeah.
Can you put that link in the private chat, though? Because I'm going to rip that soundbite. Thank you.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Let me see. Hopefully, I'll drop this in here.
You got to grip it before you rip it, man.
I was looking up graboid sound, and like the first one was like graboid life cycle. Like, people are weird.
30 folks we have watching. Thank you so much.
Hey, guys.
This is the Welcome to Florida live stream. And now we go to the educational portion of the show. How many of you are familiar with the War of 1812?
Not as much as I thought I was. So I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, this is I didn't know about this, but apparently we had the regular War of 1812 that everyone knows about. But at the same time, there was a Patriot War of 1812 that was actually an illegal incursion into Spanish Florida. Now, I happened to come across this when I was researching my family. I was finding out some information about my family, and crap, I thought I had that book with me. But if you go onto Amazon and you look up the Patriot War of 1812, it's a book about this thick, written by a University of Florida history professor who I've actually been in contact with to get some information about it. And it's all based on the East Florida Papers, which a lot of people don't know about. You think you can see some of it online through the Library of Congress, through the National Archives. But what this was, and no, you didn't miss anything. This is not in any history book. I don't know why, but it's not. So the Patriot War of 1812. So the first permanent settlement in what is now Jacksonville, which is the Cleveland of Florida, was founded in the Cowford in 1791 at a narrow point in the St. Johns River where cattlemen could ford their livestock across. They just kind of marched, herded them across. This was some 3,000 feet west of the Spanish fort San Nicolas. Spain controlled the Florida Peninsula, which they did. This was a major concern for leaders of the youthful United States as the War of 1812 loomed. So the Revolutionary War ended in 1783. So the United States hadn't been a nation for very long. But when the United States was first created, remember, there were 13 original colonies, and the furthest south that went was Georgia. Florida went back to Spain as a prize for them supporting the Patriots on the down low against the British. So Spain got Florida back. So many Americans have been moving into Florida since the 1790s. They were known as the Patriots, and they were eager to help Florida become an American territory. So since anarchy reigned over most of Florida, except for a few places controlled by the Spanish, the U.S. government used an excuse to invade Florida in order to control anarchy and protect American citizens in the area. The U.S. also wanted the territory in order to prevent Britain from getting a foothold in the area. So I did not want to bring that one up. But we all know driving to Florida is crazy. So let's see. Let me bring this up. So there's 3 of my ancestors to get an idea of. So a lot of people were moving into Spanish Florida because there was more land and territory. So some of them got the land from the King of Spain, like several of my ancestors did.
Land grants, right?
Yeah, land grants. So if you go to, I'm gonna have to pull that up one day. I actually have two of my ancestors have land grants. He had one. So Francis Roman Manuel Sanchez. So yes, he's four freaking names. You can't find out who he is. So he was my fifth great grandfather. He already had his lands already. So his father, of course, was the Don who helped. He supported the British and he also supported the Americans. So he basically played both sides against the middle. But his son was involved in the Patriot War of 1812. At first, he was supporting the Spaniards, but eventually he got convinced to fight on the Patriot side, which did not go over very well with his family at all. So his father was a Floridano, which means he was a Florida-born Spaniard, and his mother was actually British colonial, but American mother, but she was a Spanish subject. So the second one that we have, and this is Henry Yonge, who actually he was British. So he came from London. He was a financier, goldsmith, came from London to Georgia, left Georgia because he was a loyalist and he had to escape to Florida during the Revolutionary War. But he became a Spanish subject. So when he did, his name changed from Henry to Enrique Yonge, which makes it really fun trying to find records for him because he has a Spanish name instead of an English name. So he supported Spain. So he did not change sides in the Patriot War at all. And then we have Shadrach Stanley, who was my sixth great grandfather. He was born in North Carolina, came to Georgia, got land from the King of Spain right across the St. Mary's River that separates Georgia from Florida. So he got land there. He fought for the Patriot cause. So he came from Georgia into Spanish Florida. So those are the people in my family to kind of keep in mind. So going on, the nation's fourth president, James Madison. Remember Dolly Madison? She saved like all the paintings or some of the paintings from the White House when the British burned the White House. And his Secretary of State, James Monroe, plotted to secure the Spanish Floridas as a territory of the United States. On January 15th, 1811, Congress passed a secret act for acquisition of the area. This is documented in the East Florida papers. So Madison appointed former Georgia Governor, General George Matthews, to lead a contingent into Florida with the justification that U.S. forces must support local revolts against Spanish oppression. They called it oppression. Hey, Nick McCabe, how you doing?
Hey, Nick.
They called it oppression, but what the actual issue is, and we'll actually get into this a little bit more next month, the issue is that Spanish subjects who lived there, a good percentage of them were free. They were free Blacks, free Creoles. They were free. Some of them had slaves, some of them did not, but they were actually able to purchase their freedom under Spanish law. So once they did that, they were Spanish citizens, which means that they could sue in court for redress of grievances. They had all the protections of the Spanish crown. Then you had the British, now Americans, who would bring their slaves into the territory, but they were not abiding by Spanish law at all. So Spanish law said that you couldn't separate families, you couldn't sell off families, you couldn't break them up if they were slaves, but they did it anyway. So there was a lot of contention because of that. And also in Spanish Florida, there was a Black militia as well. A lot of them were former slaves that had escaped from the British colonies, now American colonies, and now they were in Spanish Florida. And Georgia saw that as a threat, because another thing that you have to remember is that Haiti had a revolution, 1781, that was very bloody. No one wanted that to come to the United States. So they were very, very worried that something like that would happen. So Madison's opponents condemned the invasion, saying that the claims for invasion were trumped up. So Patriots, aided by the U.S. Navy, they came in, take possession of Fernandina and Amelia Island. That's like where Jacksonville is now, near where Jacksonville is now. But within weeks, President Madison, unhappy by the tactics used by the Patriots. When I say the Patriots, they also had dragoons who had experience in the Revolutionary War. So they were also in Florida, employing a lot of guerrilla tactics. And the optics were not good coming out of Florida. Hey, Mark. The optics were not good. They were printing them in the papers. So by June, the U.S. declared war on Great Britain. We know that as the War of 1812. And with fear that the friendship with the Spanish would allow the English to establish a dangerous staging ground in Florida, the matter of seizing the area resurfaced as a national issue. Then, as long feared by the Patriots and many American leaders, Seminoles joined the Spanish, raiding homes and attacking Patriots and Patriot sympathizers. My fifth great grandfather, Francis Roman Sanchez, his brother had an issue with the Seminoles raiding the slaves and taking off with them. So it was not, nobody said it. Or is that Disney was already getting ready? But Disney wasn't there yet. Disney wasn't there yet. But yeah, it was a very, very lawless time at the time there. Spain had problems holding their colonies. If people didn't know, the Revolutionary War, they really didn't want to fund that, but they didn't have a choice. But as soon as that happened in the Americas, it spread to the colonies. And Spain was having a very, very hard time holding their colonies. And Spanish Florida was the last priority for Spain. They just pretty much left Spanish Florida left out to dry. So there's a Georgian general, Daniel Noonan, gained celebrity for leading volunteers in a march onto Alachua, and that's the interior with the Indian Territory, to wage battle against the Seminoles and their leader, which is King Payne. And there's actually an area called Payne's Prairie out there in Alachua County named after him. Am I sure? Of course I'm sure. Of course I'm sure. Disney doesn't have a magic 8-ball, trust me. So nearly a decade later, original streets of Jacksonville were laid out. Noonan remembered as a hero. There's a town called Noonan'sville. It's a fort called Noonan'sville in Alachua County. And after the War of 1812, my fifth great grandfather, Francisco Sanchez, who was pretty much persona non grata for a while because he switched sides. He basically packed up everyone and his wife, who was Henry Yonge's daughter, and they moved into the interior, into Alachua County, where University of Florida is now. So with the death of General Buckner Harris in May of 1814, I think he was ambushed and killed. Patriot movement collapsed, but the Patriot War managed to do something that the War of 1812 did not do, and that brought new territory into the United States. Because the Patriot War of 1812 basically showed that Spain could not hold on to Florida. So eventually, Florida gets sold to the United States. So by 1821, you basically got notice that you either needed to get out or you were going to stay with the Americans who were there. And Paulie isn't in the chat, but Paulie told me that one of the significances of 1821 is that Mexico got their independence in 1821. So some of my distant relatives, they picked up and they went on out to Mexico. They did not stay in Florida because they didn't trust the incoming American government. So that is the Patriot War of 1812.
Well, that's very...
I love these streams because that's stuff I did not know, and I love to learn new things. That's like the way my brain works. So that was freaking cool. Mm-hmm. And it feeds right into the events that were happening around the Revolutionary War. It was just amazing. Freaking awesome. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It was pretty cool. Hey, Dave, Bob, how you doing? Mark, you need to get some sleep. The Spanish Empire was contracting at the time. Yes, it was contracting at the time, and they really they really could not keep a hold of their colonies at all. It was just a mess. Oh, go ahead.
They overtaxed so many resources at that period of time. The Spanish did. The English were tapped out too. I mean, honestly, I mean they didn't have the naval support that they needed. They didn't have enough troops on the ground. I mean, there was a lot going on there. So this is again one of those things I just freaking absolutely I just love. And yeah, I mean think about it. All of these superpowers at the time, because these were the superpowers. You had Spain, you had France, you had England. That was it. Those were the superpowers of the day, and they couldn't hold the line. It was just it was
France, kind of.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Holland a bit.
What Holland? Get out of here.
Yeah, the Dutch.
Yeah, the Dutch were in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, we're talking American.
No, but it actually, but they did have a ripple effect. Everything that was going on, the superpowers in the Caribbean, had an effect on the United States. Yeah, the French were revolt. Yeah, that's
wasn't New York named New Amsterdam first?
Yes.
It's just amazing.
The Dutch were financing us. They're financing us in part in the Revolutionary War.
Oh yeah. Lots of gold and silver flew our way, and including raw materials for initially building armaments and stuff. There was a lot of stuff that was happening. There was geopolitical struggle at that point in time was worldwide because they all wanted to control these trade routes, and there were so many natural resources in the New World. They wanted their foot in the door, and they all remained with their foot in the door, but they had no territorial stakes any longer. It was a pretty amazing time.
Yeah,
plus everybody hated the British, and they're like, funding us just to chip away at that, that empire, so that later on they could make their own moves against them.
Because that's what Spain did. Because some people are like, why didn't Spain help us out? Yeah, they did, but they kind of had to do it with France as a cover, so the British wouldn't find out, because after the 7 Years' War, Spain, they were weakened even more so than possible. So they had needed time to basically build themselves back up again. But they were still funding, on the down low with people. But speaking about the French, they lost Haiti. That was huge. Haiti was like one of the richest. That was like the jewel in the French colonial crown, because Haiti made so much money in sugar that when that island revolted, it rippled all throughout the Caribbean. Some of my ancestors had to leave in a hurry. So they wound up going to Charleston, which, if you've ever been in the United States, it's strange. Once you get to Charleston and Savannah, even the architecture looks like it's Caribbean. It does not look like colonial American at all. It looks like you're in Barbados. And that's where the trade routes would go. The trade routes would come through the Caribbean and go up. They would stop in Charleston, they would stop in Savannah, and they would stop in St. Augustine, and then go back into the Caribbean. It's again, like what Culture was saying, just the geopolitics of the region at the time were just something else. And the Revolutionary War, although it seems like it was just in the US, it really wasn't. The Revolutionary War was actually a world war. It really was. Mexico got its independence, and then Texas joined the party and got its independence.
Hell yeah.
Like, still continues.
Shoot, we might be doing that again. Y'all keep messing around up there in the north.
I heard. Hey, Kai, that's because American history is world history. The whole world was invested in what was happening here, and all that turned us into a country. We are the result of everyone's struggles. And that is true.
Yeah,
and
we're the best.
You had the 13 colonies. They rebelled. Then you had Spanish Florida, which eventually became part of the, America came to it. Same thing happened with Louisiana. America came there, and all the geopolitics shifting around, because Louisiana was French, then became Spanish, then became French again, but nobody knew that until we were trying to buy it when Napoleon sold it to us. And the problem was they had to figure out who the frick owned it.
Yeah, that really is kind of funny. That was really funny. Who owns this? Who owns this much? Who owns
Charleston is more like New Orleans than Williamsburg. That is very true.
Oh, that's very true.
It's
Yeah,
very
and
true.
great oysters can be found in Charleston, amongst other things.
I can't eat oysters. It's just not if they have a sandbag in it. I can't deal with it. Sugar, rubber, seaports, and reggae all came from the Caribbean. There's a reason they call it the shot heard around the world. That is very true. That is very true. Once they saw it in America, the French did it. They did it in Haiti. They did all around the Caribbean, Mexico, Colombia.
Yeah, we launched this whole thing, and it was really important. It was key. You can't fight a war on that many fronts, and you're already stretched really thin because of the people that you have garrisoned in those locations without the incoming ships. The minute you block the ports, they've lost their supply line. So since the British never established land-based supply lines or the ability to resupply from the land sources, it was genius, and that's exactly what happened. And people don't understand that. They just don't. They don't. We're not taught history anymore. You don't have a grasp of these things, and so these are the kinds of stories we need. So thank you, Lorena. This was freaking awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. Don't forget the Brits had a few spots in Louisiana territory as well. Yeah, it's kind of weird how that works. So where the Redneck Riviera is right now, the Florida Peninsula, that was kind of considered Louisiana. Well, no. That was British West Florida, actually. So the British had control over that and Mobile. So, yeah, they had to fight for that, too. So that's where the British were held out, but the Spanish were fighting them from Louisiana. So that was that southern front no one talks about the American Revolution, the war in the South, like south of Williamsburg. Everyone hears about Yorktown. No one hears about the other stuff, Florida Panhandle and Mobile. Yep, that's exactly what it is. All right, cool. Well, I'm glad you guys like these little history nuggets. I like them because they also involve, members of my family. So it's kind of like when I see how my family members moved around, you can kind of see the bigger picture and just how world events just like shaped what they did and where they went and all that cool stuff. So let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Kai says I was part of a project to create an innovative educational game to integrate with the public education system. Sadly, the educator whose project that was died last year. I'm sorry to hear that.
That's terrible.
I'm sorry to hear that because our kids really need to learn history, true history. It's not taught anymore.
No.
Well, we had the 1619 project. They're going to learn everything they didn't need to know.
Everybody knows. Well, maybe not everybody knows. My biggest issue with the 1619 project, I tell people, I said, you're cutting out 90% of my family, started with 1619, because we were here in 1492.
Oh God, think about how many other cultures had made it to the coast. We are not taught an accurate amount of, and maybe demonizing Columbus has a purpose, but the concept of the exploration still needs to be honored. The fact that there was a discovery of a new continent and an opportunity to have a new form of trade and access to natural resources.
Exactly.
So
exactly, it's amazing. But definitely check that out. There's a book that I showed earlier, The War of 1812. If you're interested in a really, really cool, informative historical read, that is awesome to pick up and read. So speaking of
they look a little stiff.
Yeah, now we're in the Disney section here, and props to Pirates and Princesses for pointing this out. I had the Jungle Cruise story, but before I get to that, we talk about Disney and the Disney difference and how Disney is just going into the crapper with their show quality. This is one of them. So Disney replaces broken Three Caballeros animatronics with plywood cutouts in Walt Disney World. So you see, oh, sorry, go ahead, Culture.
No, this just drives me bananas. This is going to make me crazy, and for a good reason. The Three Caballeros. Okay, so these figures, these animatronic figures, had been absent from the park for over 30 years.
So this is my video from 5
Oh
years ago.
yeah. Show it for sure.
This is what it's supposed to look like. This is the finale in the boat ride in Mexico Pavilion. It's beautiful. It's all these colors, the music, the original Disney animation. And this is the culmination at the end, where you see all the animatronics and they're singing and they're animated, and it's just gorgeous. This is what everybody looks for. This is probably my most favorite portion of that ride, for how it's laid out and all the animatronics and how they, and how they go around and everything. So that's what they used to look like.
Feels a little racist, but go on.
It's not. It's a really good story. It's a really good story.
I'm not gonna really call it that.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of cultural stuff that's in it.
So these animatronics, they were originally featured in another attraction in Walt Disney World in the Magic Kingdom. Okay. They were part of an animatronic show that was in Fantasyland, right? And then they left. They weren't there anymore. They went to another park elsewhere in the world. And then from there, so for 35 years, they were absent from Florida. In 2015, they bring them back. They set them up in this amazing position, this beautiful finale scene with fireworks. Well, they're not really, but they have like little, lights.
Oh yeah, the fiber optics.
Yeah, the fiber optic fireworks. It's really cool. When they redid this attraction, they did a lot to it. And you had these guys at the end doing this finale scene, doing beautiful, just like Lorena showed you. And they had a tendency to break down because they were never rebuilt. They were utilizing old linear actuator tech and stuff like that. So they needed work, right? They didn't put the work into them that they needed to, and nobody was maintaining them properly. So they would break down. And then they would fix them. And unfortunately, when you were working with something that's 35 years, 40 years old, however old they are, you were dealing with old tech. And instead of upgrading the tech and, changing the framework slightly, because it wouldn't have taken much.
Yeah.
They do this. They do that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just upset.
No, but it is, and you're rightfully so upset, because the Mexico Pavilion at Epcot, which is funded in part by the Mexican government, and they had helped put this all together. It's just the show quality of this is just amazing. They go to different parts of Mexico. I know for me, I really wanted to see not Tamaulipas, Veracruz, because that's where my family actually is from when they landed there, was in Veracruz. So you see like the different areas of Mexico, especially for people who probably won't ever visit there. You get to see like all the color and history and pageantry and all of that. And then by the time you get to the end of this, you have all the animatronics there that just add to the show quality. And again, with how Disney is just, charging you more for less of an experience, this is what you get. And this is worse than phoning it in, frankly, to me. So you mean to tell me you're going to charge people, I don't know, god-awful amounts of money to go through this ride, and this is what you get at the end?
I have one question. They're replaced though, but do they even move or anything? Are they on like a rotational pattern, like nothing? So that they just stand there like clay pigeon shooting targets?
They just stand there. Replace them with plywood cutouts. Plywood. I haven't heard about them moving or anything like that. See, that's what the malfunction. But yeah, they're just plywood cutouts that sit there. They don't do anything. They just sit there. And people wonder why
Universal's better.
Yeah, why Universal's better. I've never seen Universal use a plywood cutout unless it's like something that's coming soon or sitting outside or anything like that. But again, it's like Disney expects you to keep paying all this money and you're not getting any show for it.
But if they really wanted to and they could get the jobs, couldn't they just get 3 actors in suits and do a rotational thing and just pretend they're playing the instruments and do it if they have the actual mascot suits available?
Well, they got rid of their live entertainment.
Oh, I know that, but that couldn't cost that much if they really cared about making this attraction worthwhile. This just seems empty and.
Oh, I agree with you. but they don't. Again, it's like it used to be that the Disney parks were about the Disney difference in storytelling, and they just don't freaking care. That would be like that would actually be a good happy medium if they did
Yeah.
that.
Give it
But
a year, and it's eventually just going to be 3 pieces of paper with IOU on it attached to sticks. That's what you're going to see next year.
Guy says plywood cutouts as college finals level presentation. Yeah, it's just bad. 3 actors equals, paychecks. Yeah, it's like putting a board over a hole in the ground helps nothing. No, it doesn't. And it's awful. I just can't I just can't see
It sucks the life out of you. This is what it's doing. They're doing it piece by piece, and they expect you to pay the fee that they set, but they're not even providing what the fee is supposed to entail. And I'm going to sound a little bit like a cheapskate here, but if I'm going to pay to go on a ride that says animatronics and features this, and this, I'm expecting to see this, and this.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
can't do it. You should at least explain what happened, why they're down, how long it'll take to get up. And then, you try to balance it with, like, you could hire 3 actors, 6 actors, have them on a 6-hour rotation, get in the costumes, they can hold the instruments. They don't even have to sing because the songs play automatically, don't they, through the speaker system while you're going through.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on the screens, rides with screens. To me, that's phoning it in too. It's just like if you're going to do an attraction, you need to do, an
Yeah,
attraction.
it's not supposed to be an Amazon tablet on wheels.
No, it's insulting. So again, I'll bring up Star Wars again. Disney, if you think that Disney doesn't blink with screwing over Star Wars fans, look what they're doing to, legacy Disney fans.
Well, like, what if they shake your chair while you're watching a screen?
No. They did. They have something, or they had something up here at Wonderland in Canada, and it was called Days of Thunder. What is, you would get into a giant kind of stage room about the size of a theater, right?
Mhm.
2-person per chair, put your seatbelt on, and it would be one of those motion activated chairs. So you'd be in the Days of Thunder race, like road level.
Yeah.
But you're going through with what Tom Cruise's car, and you feel in the crash. You get jerked if you hit the wall. But it's not a ride, and they would call it a ride. You're just staring at a giant screen, trying not to throw up on the guy beside you. Like there's no fun in this.
I was picturing someone literally behind you going, "Whoa, whoa," shaking your chair. But yeah, that sounds better than what I had. Sorry.
And it's just,
I apologize, man. I agree. I can see that, but that's like Big Brother teasing.
Oh my gosh, Dave Bob says, I know Lorena has stock in Disney, but they are swirling the bowl. They are, and their stock is extremely overpriced. I did not buy it anywhere near the price where it is now. The price could crater. It could crater. I'd still make money. That's how low I bought in. And yeah, they are. They're not paying the investors. They blew all that money on Fox. They're not interested in the quality of show, and they are. They are. They need to, feel the pain even more because they just don't care.
They should outsource to Robin Hood, and everything would be solved.
No, what we have to do is we have to get a bunch of people together, stockholders, and pursue a concept of shorting ourselves at this point.
Yeah,
because
is that the GameStop thing?
Yeah, the only way to punish them is to bring the company value down, to make them a less attractive investment to institutional investors. Because that's the problem right now. All of these companies are run, believe it or not, because the slate they elect for the board, because of their stock power, they're all these leftist ideologues that want to pursue this globalist mentality. So that's why these hedge funds, these hedge fund investors get involved in. This is not a financial class, but that's what's happening.
No, that makes sense. You're saying pretty much monsters are controlling this, and it's taking the care out of the parks and making it a not worthwhile experience. And the only way to hit them is to play the same game back on them, because then they cry wolf, cry baby, and the companies that are holding their hedge funds start freaking out. So I agree with that. No,
absolutely true. Because if you go back and you listen to the stockholders meeting from last year, these aren't the investor questions. You will get people like me and like Culture who own our couple shares of stock, and you hear basically what we have all been saying about everything, about quality of show, what they're screwing up with Star Wars. And it's just like they just listen, yeah, whatever, and ignoring it. But yeah, you do need to be.
I have a question though. I would like to know from the panel and the chat, how awesome would it be to see Culture throw down with Bob Iger and kick his ass?
I'd like to see that.
So would I. I think Culture's hair. I think Culture's hair would turn into Sindel from Mortal Kombat. And he just choked the guy.
Look, Uncle Bob and I have a lot of disagreements. I don't think there's a physical altercation required, but I would love to verbally dress them down along with the board that thinks that their current pursuit are the right way to operate the company. They're abandoning their investors by not paying a dividend now for a consistent third, going to be a fourth quarter, which is unprecedented. Not since the downfall where we nearly sold the company to Japan has this ever occurred before. And if you want a model for how to operate the parks properly, you don't have to look any farther than Japan, because Oriental Land Company still does absolutely everything the right way, the Disney way.
Oh my God.
Look at Nintendo Land, for God's sakes. And that's not even a Disney property. And that park is amazing looking. Like, look at Mario Kart.
Just look at, just go look at pictures of Tokyo Disneyland. Go and look there and just look at how they have everything laid out. Some friends of mine who have been to like Tokyo Disneyland, they're just like, oh my God, we felt so pampered from getting there to leaving. It was just nuts. John Beck, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says shorting dangerous because no cap stock value. Be careful. I don't know much about shorting stocks. I know it's a very precarious process. So yeah.
It's a bottomless hole. No, he's 100% right. And that's one of the things I was talking about when I was trying to explain it the other day on one of the streams. And I'm like, these hedge fund guys, they're in a bottomless hole. They have to be in a position to cover the negative equity in those stocks. That's why a lot of these, I mean, when they talk about losing $70 billion in 5,000 brokerages, they're not kidding.
Yeah.
I found an image of Tokyo for you.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna bring it up in a second. Black Superwoman says, take your Disney money and go buy Harry Potter stuff. You know what? That's exactly what I've been doing over the past year. I did not buy a Disney annual pass. I bought a Universal annual pass and have just been buying Harry Potter merchandise like crazy. It's amazing what they're doing with that. Let's see. Chapek waves fist in the sky. Yeah, you have to say Chapek too when you do it.
Cheap.
Disney hired a plywood cutout for Captain Marvel. I bet you it was better than Brie Larson.
It could work if they don't pay her and just replace her. They can actually have the actors come back and fill those roles. It's a win-win.
Not to get political, but is Disney getting a bailout?
Yeah.
They're angling for one. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. He says, yes, I would pay to see that. Yeah, I would. Culture could really best Chapek verbally. That's, I'd like to see the verbal smackdown. Yeah, exactly. Putting $5 on Culture. Thank you, Crispy Critter, for the $5 super chat.
The thing is during the course of these highly scripted events, they aren't challenged. They don't have to debate their position or explain their reasoning. And so when you go to a shareholder, an event or what you normally see in a quarterly call, the questions, they're scripted. The questions are scripted. The answers are scripted. So, and rarely do you get a follow-up that even challenges whatever they're trying to tell you. And, it's incredibly frustrating. It would be very easy to question some of the reasoning behind these decision-making process. And now we're going to point out, I love that. And that's so
that, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tokyo Disneyland on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. This is how they go out.
This is why I want to go to Tokyo Disneyland.
Look at that. They are a master of, what is it called? LED laser lighting and side lighting.
Kenny 90 for the $5.
Sorry, Culture. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Lorena.
You're perfect, bro. Yeah.
I'll bring up another picture, but dude, beautiful.
It's amazing. Their projection shows are equal to California. They are faithful in their recreation of Disneyland, and I love Disney Sea. Disney Sea is the only park like it anywhere in the world. If you have an opportunity, Tokyo is amazing. If you have an opportunity to travel to Japan, you should. That's all I'll say. Especially if you get a chance to go to the parks, it's amazing.
That's one of my plans to do.
The Japanese respect what came before. That's the thing; they respect the franchise.
Like they respect history. Yeah, I agree with this thing. They actually care about history and build upon it rather than tear it down and make what they think people will like.
Right.
And I believe it because there's just the pictures. If you just Google, I think it's not the Disneyland Hotel. It's a whole hotel that looks like Cinderella's castle over in Tokyo Disneyland, and I'm blanking on the name of it. I remember I saw it, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. And you're right, Stig. They honor what came before, like all of the details, everything to the most minuscule details about like the Disney plan, the Disney details. They have it down, and it looks fabulous. It's like I tell people, it's Disney on steroids. Thank you, Bruce Lombardo, for the $4.99 super chat. Another cup of coffee. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I really want to go. That is like a dream trip for me to go to Tokyo Disneyland because it's just absolutely flipping amazing. What do we have there, Stephen?
That's
Disney Sea.
That is articulation on point.
It is. Oh my gosh!
And they took all of the Disney tricks, all of the methodology that they utilize for force perspective and kinetics and everything else, everything that keeps you interested. That there isn't any place that's absent of life and motion and experience. And that's what Disney is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be dull and drab and serving an IP like what they did at Galaxy's Edge.
That's right. They do not half-ass anything.
And here's the thing. For those of you that don't know, I turned 50 this year. So our last year, 2020. I was supposed to be throughout Asia, hitting all of the Disney parks. Being in not just Tokyo, but in China, unfortunately, in Hong Kong, I was going to see them all. That was the plan. The boss and I, that was the whole plan. The whole plan evaporated. So, but the next opportunity I have to visit all of the parks in Asia, I will probably take, because I think these will be the last genuine Disney experiences you'll be able to have based on the thing that Lorraine is about to show you.
Yes, and this has me. Oh God! Just when I thought I couldn't get angrier, this attraction is one of my favorite at Disney World because, again, 4 generations of my family have been to Disney. This is one of the top rides that we would always have to get on. It's cheesy. It's outdated, but nobody freaking cares. Why? Because the Jungle Cruise is the one attraction where it's like everything is dependent on the cast member that you get. John Lasseter used to be a Jungle Cruise skipper in Disneyland. You're like a one-person improv, and there's like a loose script. But it's never the same thing twice because you have a human who's leading you through all of these parts with corny jokes, with some puns that will probably make Steve groan very loudly through the whole thing. And now, because of, diversity changes, they want to change the Jungle Cruise. So again, instead of making your own stuff, you just want to cannibalize tear down what's there. So I got this from the Disney blog because Steve sent me the article from the LA Times, which blood was shooting out of my eyes reading that. So I figure we just go to the source, which is the Disney blog here. So new adventures to cast off soon along world famous Jungle Cruise at Disneyland Park and Magic Kingdom Park. So here's the front matter where they're talking about just, how great it is that they're going to change everything. And basically, they're saying that they're going to change the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland Park and at Magic Kingdom Park at Walt Disney World Resort to include new adventures that stay true to the experience we know and love, more humor, wildlife, and skipper heart, and also reflect and value the diversity of the world around us.
Wait a minute. If their statements are already contradictory. If they wanted to stay true, why are they changing it when they can just add to it? They already contradicted that. That was all Do we have enough time on the stream? That's all bullshit. I'm good. That's my word for the day.
Oh,
That's
it
all
is.
bull. More
it is.
humor. Disney's not funny. They can't meme for the life of them. They're not funny.
They're not. This ride in particular, because it depends on the cast members, they're funny. Again, the ride is like, it's like a time capsule, and so much of the stuff is outdated. That's why most of the jokes are so freaking funny when they go through this. But yeah, it's just they exactly contradicted them here. The experience we know and love, but yet we're going to have to change it.
But they're not going to be doing like the kind of improv for the captain or whatever. There's going to be a scripted story that goes along with it.
Yes,
so they're even
exactly.
taking the corny and the cheesy jokes and the kind of free wielding captain that's gone now too. So now it's going to be a scripted story.
And that is just not going to work for this particular attraction, because the fun of it is it's never the same ride twice. Yeah, Crispy Critters, actually Geeky already went off on this on Clownfish TV, because they're reading, just turn the whole park gray. That's all they want to do with this. They want to make it scripted. They want to keep everything the same. So that's the same dull, boring. Yes, turn the park gray, turn it into NPC land, which is pretty much what they want to do. So here's I call it the propaganda video. So they have like some of the Jungle Cruise cast members who have been trained, or is it indoctrinated, in this new attraction, and they talk about how great it is and all of that, but they want to quote unquote change things because certain scenes are quote unquote problematic. And then this brings me to the other point, because let me find this picture, because I think I had it too. No, that's not friggin' it. That's not.
I just don't get it. Eventually, we're just going to go into a theme park at Disney. Every character is just going to be black and white, backed by Steamboat Willie, so no one can complain. Everyone's going to not have any lines. It's all going to be audio and whistling, just so everyone can't complain that they said the wrong word. The generation of boring is coming. This is just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, NPCs don't spend money. No, they don't. They don't spend the money, because it's like, this scene here, this is the new one, okay, that they're going to propose to put in. So there was this rhino scene where you had the adventurers, they want to call them imperialists or whatever, and they were up here, and their guide was down at the bottom, who obviously looked to be of African descent. Everybody laughs because it's like, what, it's outdated, so what? They're just laughing, and the Jungle Cruise skippers are like, yeah, I think they got the point, in the end. And they make all of these just
great jokes,
great jokes and puns, and everybody laughs at it.
Because you're not paying attention to the skin on the thing you're looking at. You're paying attention to the humor of the scene. And if you have 5 people who ran up a tree because a rhino was chasing them, that's funny. That makes you reminded of like Jumanji or Lion King and other stuff.
Oh yeah,
they're taking that away.
But a local would be your guide, right?
Yeah.
So depending on what area you're in the world, because the Jungle Cruise covers several different river cruises, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your chances are the people in those areas will have more melanin in their skin. Mm-hmm. So I'm sorry to quote a Canadian, you're gonna have a guide somewhere in there with a different pigmentation. You know what? We cannot afford to whittle things down in these ways. You are an intolerable, insufferable human being if this is the only thing that you focus on.
I agree. I agree with you. Culture, go on, man. I agree with you. But it's like, think about it this way: you go to Mount Everest to go up the mountain, right? Are you going to sit there going through all the Sherpas? Do you find one that has the right skin pigmentation to take you up the hill, or do you want the one that has the most experience?
I want the guide that's going to get me there without dying mostly. Because
me too.
I'll take care of the rest of the dying part on the way to the top. Because not a lot of people get there. I'll handle the end part of the dying. Okay, but I just want to get to the place where I have the 35 feet to go where I can't breathe anymore. I think that is the experience that you're paying for, and you need somebody to help you get there.
Exactly. And
you know what though? This is how bad it is now. If this develops, imagine in 20 years.
I'll be dead.
And I'm gonna say a cuss word, and
Go ahead.
we're gonna have a whole generation of pussies.
That's exactly it. That's
We're already there. We're already there. They raised them in the schools that the people abandon their children into without even paying attention to the fact that they're being taught 2 + 2 = dump truck, and that they've been taught that everybody on the freaking planet's a racist.
Exactly.
Didn't they already pass also orders? I'm not trying to go back in political a little bit, but didn't they pass order to get rid of patriotic history as well? That was one of the first orders signed.
No, it was to get rid of the Lincoln not the Lincoln Project. I'm sorry,
the 1619 project,
the 1776 project.
Yeah,
that was
that's
the one they got rid of.
Yeah, the 1619 is the new racism, and the 1776 was actual friggin' history.
Yeah.
Just like the fact that Trump said you can't teach critical theory anymore because it's incredibly racist. What was one of the first things that were signed back into an EO? And by the way, at the pace that douche knuckles going right now, that's in the office at the moment, he's actually going to sign more EOs than any president in history in his first year.
Well, he needs those millions of dollars from the people who are lining his pockets, right?
Hey, PJ.
No, that's not the case at all with this.
Second. Thank you so much, PJ, for the super sticker, $3 super sticker. It's the little teal guy saying fist bump. Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't want to turn it exactly.
I apologize.
We kind of do get the point where that's going. But what it is it's erasing. It's erasing a classic, and it's also to the point of where people just don't want to be freaking offended. They see something that offends them, and they don't want it around, and they think everyone else, doesn't want it around. Are there some parts of the Jungle Cruise ride that are culturally outdated? Yes. And that's part of what's the charm about it. It's actually a freaking teaching moment. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what it is. We all know that Trader Sam at the end, we all know that Southeast Asian people aren't always out there trying to sell you shrunken heads. Two of their heads are not. Now, they're not freaking doing that. We already know that. We don't need a ride to, go from all of, this, like, I call it time in a bottle, where we can kind of laugh at the stereotypes and everything that happen, because we're actually smart people and society has evolved and we know that people don't act like that. So we get stuff like rides like this with freaking chimpanzees taking over the boat.
Racist.
That's even racist, more racist.
No, so to be... All right, so it's not about them being actually offended. Like, if you look at white people getting mad about a hairstyle on Animal Crossing.
Buns.
Yeah, but listen, it's not that they're actually offended. It is a power play. They know if they go wee, they'll be able to enforce what they want, and it's just a power play. They're not really offended, but they know if they act offended, especially on someone else's behalf, then they'll be able to make the changes that they want to.
Yeah, and then after they're done, the people they're complaining on behalf of are left there sitting looking like idiots.
Yep.
Yeah. Black Superwoman. Yeah, that's exactly my point. They act like we can't research things for ourselves. Then again, NPCs are brain dead. Oh yeah. That's exactly it. Let's see. Someone said something about Animal Kingdom, which is gorgeous. I love that part. There's a section of the Jungle Cruise where you see, like, the African tribesmen having a war party and they're dancing around. There's certain parts in Africa where they still do that because that's a part of their freaking heritage. There's nothing racist about it. That is part of their heritage and who they are.
Yeah, and look at the what's it called? Dragon Tamer or Dragon Hunter or whatever it is. The animated movies with the Vikings.
Oh, How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. Don't tell me that's not a Viking stereotype.
Wait. Vikings don't have dragons, do they?
Well, not anymore.
I don't think anybody has dragons.
Yeah, drinking and horned helmets and,
Cavitania chases, so there are no Southeast Asian people trying to sell you dried fish, mangoes, or coconuts. They are the Asian market. I'm just saying. They're actually creating the time machine from Idiocracy. Idiocracy. Now I just laugh and like, oh my God.
Idiocracy is, yeah, it is. They have created, that is the first Nostradamus movie in the history of the world. Yeah.
Yes.
Well done.
Yeah, and you're right, Black Superwoman. No offense, but I don't need white people to white knight over a hairstyle. Guess they miss geisha hair buns. Yeah, they just thought that was just, Black people are going to be offended. I'm just like, that hairstyle is kind of like in different places all over the world.
The worst thing is, and I apologize for white people on the Canadian white people have, but when a white guy or a girl, like whatever you want to be called, I don't give a care right now, are literally getting offended for someone else, you're literally the white privilege that people are talking about, that you're spewing about, and you're doing it to try to help another, but it's not even
because they can't do it for themselves. Like,
of course,
they need white people. No, they need white people to stick up for them.
No, any person with a voice can stick up for themselves. This is just pandering and being a coward, hiding behind someone else so you can do what you want behind the scenes.
They don't have a voice because of systematic racism. So that's why white people have
to
and say, hey there, Animal Crossing, you can't use that hairstyle unless you're.
You don't like it, turn off the game, change your hairstyle. It's not going to hurt anyone.
Because
isn't it racist though for a privileged white person like the SJWs to assume they get to speak on behalf of minorities with authority?
It totally is, but they feel that they have to save, I hate that term, people of color, but I'm using it anyway. They have to save people of color. We have to save you from yourselves.
It would be more racist if they didn't use their voice to speak out on their behalf.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it's also racist if you do speak out.
Yeah, that's how they think.
But but it's more racist to talk over. Sorry, I don't mean to talk over. Use that as a Hippocratic right now, but it's more racist to talk for another than letting the other person speak. If they have a problem, they will voice.
But they don't see it as that.
Of course not, because they're smelling their own farts.
They don't. And I'll go back to, this is the reason why slave owners kept their slaves uneducated, not able to read, not able to write, because they didn't want them thinking for themselves. They would say things like, oh, we hear that slaves are escaping and going north. You don't want to go up north and starve, do you? We take care of you.
Would you say it's
all of this for you? Yeah, this is what they'll do. In the meantime, you had free Black people in the north like, no, I have my own wages. I have my own job. We have our own communities, all of that. But that's not what they wanted slaves to know, so they could escape. And you have these SJWs who, to make themselves look good, oh, we know what's best for you. We know what's best for you. You want a ride that's more diverse, and we are going to guilt everyone else, including white people, so we get it. And it doesn't matter what we destroy in the meantime. And that's exactly what it is. Now I'm circling this chick right here, because do you know Disney has a CEO of diversity inclusion?
Oh, I'm out. I'm going to the store. I need a drink.
Yes, they have one of diversity and inclusion. And if the stockholders meeting is anything like the last one was, we're going to get a whole freaking spiel about what they're doing to make Disney attractions more quote unquote diverse. So they already started with Splash Mountain, because supposedly the Song of the South was racist. It wasn't. If Song of the South is racist, then all those Burr Rabbit stories that my grandmother told me, they must be racist, right? I don't think so. So they have that. They're doing the Jungle Cruise, and then they're going for the Country Bears. What did the freaking Country Bears ever do?
Dude, they're not done. Look, these are the things on the horizon, right? The depictions of the dolls in Small World are going to be changed. The Peter Pan attraction is going to be changed. The elements of the Little Mermaid attraction will be changed.
What in the Little Mermaid's going to be changed?
Oh well, there's
Sebastian.
Yes,
Sebastian's a crab.
Doesn't matter. There are all kinds of problems on the horizon, and these are all things that these idiots have been talking about now. So what I'm going to say is, for the first time ever in a very, very long time, I will not be renewing my Disney Premier Pass, any of my Disney passes of any sort. I will not be renewing them for the first time in a very, very long time in my life.
Damn, bro, I'm sorry.
It is.
Nah,
It is
okay.
just you know what they brought it on themselves. Lord Thoth, you said, I think everyone has a VP of diversity. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing if it's about diversity of talent, because it's actually very good for the company if you're not searching around in the same pools for talent, if you're expanding your reach to bring in qualified talent. But Disney's idea of diversity and inclusion is smashing everybody over the head with, if you don't believe in diversity, you're racist. If you don't believe in the changes that we're doing to make things diverse, you're racist. And if you talk against it, you're racist.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, you know, the problem with the VP of diversity is Disney has one, and they have the most racist employees I've ever seen in my life, and you don't have to look any farther than the recent interaction that we've had with two, specifically from Star Wars, and many others. These people, Lord Thoth, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but
Yeah,
diversity is a poison pill, and critical race theory is just destroying every element of everything in the world, and that's where you get these diversity positions from. And not only that, you get a bunch of these gender studies people that have no skills in life because they got a degree that's worthless, because they can't figure out that based on science, you know, there are two biological differences. You have man and woman. Those are the two things. And if you want to change the names of those two things, be my guest. But at the same time, there are two. Okay, and that's a biological norm. It's not a socioeconomic norm. It's not a what is the term you use, Matt, that makes me want to choke you?
Which one is it?
He says something really dumb that did like that, like some kind of diverse term. But look, it doesn't make any sense. You are buying into the idea of dividing people even further. Please stop.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Don't get me started on
that could be the tactic, though, divide and conquer, right?
Of course. No, that works. And every time you want to overthrow somebody. Right now, guys, if you think that China is the enemy of most of the countries in the world, number one, you're right. But number two, you're playing right into their hands. They are playing a long game of conquering the world. Don't help them. They are still enslaving people. You have countries like China, India, Pakistan, several countries in the world that still employ slaves. They still have slave trade. Right. You can be an indentured servant for your lifetime in India. These are not okay. And yet they deem to rise to a level they ascend to a level that is able to lecture us as the United States because we are not diverse, because we're racist. Mm-hmm. I normally sit down, please. That's it.
Brett Cohen, I see your comment here. The American world, not in Australia so much. Do you mean with respect to racial construct? Because the two countries have a bit of a much different history with respect to that. So I kind of tell people they're not the same pool. Australia and America are not the same pool. Australia's economic system, and let me know if I'm reading too much into this. Australia's economic system in the beginning was not based on imported slave labor. When I say imported, I mean when you're displacing people from their home country, bringing them in, enslaving their labor, and keeping them in perpetual slavery, including their descendants. So that wasn't all of America, but it was in a good portion of America and the American South. The American North benefited from that because you had raw cotton that was shipped to mills up in the North. And then you had cotton, refined cotton and fabrics that were milled in the North that were sent over to Europe. So the two countries are different with respect to racial construct. So yeah, I understand you, but yeah, it's different. They're kind of like apples and oranges. The major thing that we have in common is that both of us had British convicts shipped over there, because once America got our independence, they started shipping the convicts to Australia and not America anymore.
Thank God. Get rid of them.
Do you notice that they all have the same type of smile too, lying through their teeth?
Who?
The ones on the picture right there.
Yeah, it's just like what's
the heck? It's the death stare.
It's the same stare like Christine McCarthy.
I have your money.
like Cruella DeVille. It's
like
same
that's
thing.
the thing, though. Botox makes it easy to lie with a straight face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they get that dead stiff face.
Soul Assassin, you're absolutely right. It's funny how there's parallels between like Texans, Floridians, and Australians. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What now? I heard Texan.
Like Texans and Floridians, Australians are like our 4 southern cousins from like, as compared to Texas and Florida. It's kind of like the same cloth.
I don't know about that.
Don't
Texas
give a
being
crap
treated.
what anybody else thinks. Let's do this last one. Hey, Tina Bojan, the second caption talks about replacing Jungle Cruise skippers with animated ones. Are they afraid their cast members will not stick to a new script? Yes. Because the Jungle Cruise, if you guys remember, for those of you who've gone, the Jungle Cruise, it was an extremely loose script. I mean, you were going based on the things that you saw in the particular ride, backside of water. Ooh, everyone had their different jokes about all the different stops on the ride, but it was not a set script.
See, if they wanted to make the Jungle Cruise different and make it more fun, you know what you have on the boat leading the way? You get a couple minions on there, or you get you have Baby Grogu sitting up front directing the Jungle Cruise, just force lifting rhinos out of the way and anything blocking. You think imaginative, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Actually, again, I mean, this is another worthless virtue signal. It's actually eliminating, if they actually go about doing that, which I'm not sure that that's actually what it means with an animated skipper. But if they actually do that and replace the existing human skippers with an animatronic of some form, I mean, that eliminates how many job positions?
Well, it only goes down to then what? You only need 5 maintenance guys. That's it.
Quite a few.
And what happens if they break down? Then they're just going to replace with what? A cardboard cutout?
I don't know, but here's the other problem with this. Do you realize the talent pool that they're eliminating? Because a lot of the Jungle skippers went on to write for Disney various things like, I don't know, scripts, movies. John Lasseter was your example, but there were many, many more that have actually put together films, documentaries, other.
Ron? Is it Ron Howard or Tom Hanks? I think one of those two guys. I think they were also Jungle Cruise.
I think it was Howard. I'll check
because there's so much improv that's required. Yeah. It's like you're literally writing your own.
No, you're right, and I don't think it was Howard. But the script got a lot less loose. That's how I ended up with that weird word. A lot less loose. They had a lot of selections to pick from. Very few personal improvs that they could do, but they could still do some. Mm-hmm. And you still ended up with a quality attraction, a quality ride. But consider this. I mean, all the great entertainment that was created, it was hatched in Disney, like Steve Martin would be the best examples. He worked in the magic shop. He was and think about how amazing he is, you're killing off all of these people. It's just that's their every effort right now. You guys, look, I'm going to tell you this is the most important thing, and it's a truism. They're trying to eliminate jobs. Not just Disney, but everything. In every single corner and every single facet of the American experience, they're trying to eliminate jobs. Just pay attention. I mean, pay attention to the fact that one of the richest people on the planet bought up such a giant chunk of farmland that essentially he can corner the market on producing foods. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's Bill Gates, by the way. Anyway, I'm done. I didn't want this to become political. It became political, but it makes me crazy.
I'll change it quickly. It was actually Kevin Costner. That was one of the Jungle Cruise skippers, as well as Ron Ziegler, which used to be Richard Nixon's press secretary.
Oh.
Was also a Jungle skipper. Yep.
Okay. That's just, again, just to wrap up. Again, the Jungle Cruise was just one of those attractions and rides that just not only how the ride was set up, just, how the quality of the ride was, but the cast member that you had just how well they were able to improv and then, go with like the people who were on the ride and all of that. And then again, it was one of those things that used to have the Disney difference. And again, one more thing where the Disney difference is just, just gone and out of the way. And like for people like me, it's like I'd rather just freaking go over to Universal and not have to deal with this diversity crap and just get to ride some pretty cool freaking rides that I like. And I don't have to get a lecture.
Damn. To add, what you were thinking of was the 11th fact. A Jungle Cruise movie starring Tom Hanks and Tim Allen was planned. Scrap. That was back in 2011.
Instead we're getting one with The Rock and the British chick that's somewhat hot.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah, Emily Blunt. Yeah, I always forget her name. I don't know why. It's because I want to. I don't know. There's something about her, but anyway, that is supposed to be a uniquely good film. I've seen about 18 to 20 minutes worth of clips, and I can tell you that from everything I've seen, it looks amazing. But we'll see. There is definitely, I don't know, some racism crap in that, at least from what I saw. But we'll see.
I hear the monkeys yell slurs in between the feces being thrown. Is that true?
I was going to say, when are they going to throw poop?
Poopy? They're going to throw poopy?
Good. Not this crap. Does Universal still has Darth Vader walking around also, does it? Nah, we don't have Darth Vader, but you do get to have a encounter with the Velociraptor, which is actually pretty cool. I like that. Oh, and Marvel characters. The Marvel characters are walking around over there at Universal. Well, folks, that is going to wrap it up for tonight for the Welcome to Florida live stream. Thank you so much for coming. Please subscribe to everyone here on the panel. You guys have anything you want to talk about what's upcoming on your channel?
Go ahead, guys. I'll go last, if that's okay.
Steve, you want to go?
No. Well, I'm going to be on Sporking's channel tomorrow, as usual, talking about in depth about the Game of Thrones things, the books. We're doing chapters by chapters in depth, as if we've never read them before, which is fun, non-spoilerish. And then Thursday, it's Coffee Chat with Alora, talking about Star Wars comics and stuff. So
awesome! I got to drop in there more.
You really do, because it's really informative. So like sometimes if I'm editing a video or something, I will pop into Alora's chat and just kind of hide in the background, and I'll be editing away, and I always learn stuff. I mean, the two of them talking together is just amazing. It's always fun on Mondays to listen to him and Scott and everybody and Lady Tariel and whoever shows up there talk about Song of Ice and Fire, and they really do present it in a very spoiler-free way. It's really cool, so you definitely need to check that out. So for me, I'm just promoting this week is the 6 minute dailies, that end up eventually on my Culture Casino Live channel. I don't have a lot to promote other than everybody else on this panel, including my friend down here, Mad Mardigan, who is making some amazing content. Street Smarts is so much fun.
Street Smarts.
Check that out. Street Smarts.
So good. And I just found the Tuesday's episode is called Battle the Bullies. And it is about a kid who used science to get back at bullies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got to watch that one.
I'm going to start working on the trailer. So.
Cool.
What was the name of the kid that could like control things with his mind?
Oh, Duffy Moon? Was that his name? Yeah. But he couldn't control anything with his mind.
It was amazing. Plus, he had a bird.
He had a raven. He had a raven that was his friend named Bill. I can't remember the raven's name. But listen, if you want to get in the Street Smarts, the episode to get into would be the one where we cover, oh God, ... crap, I'm stranded, which is only 9 minutes long, but it is one of the greatest things we've ever seen. And Mary Mayhem's on there with us, and she loses her shit.
Neat.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was fun. You have to. I know you're super busy, Lorena, but you have to get on this sometime.
You know what? I have to do that. So you know what? If you want something for me to drop in, please do at me on Twitter so I can bookmark it and not forget it, because I see my Twitter feed's crazy. So I definitely do not want to miss that. Also, before I forget, Brett Cohen, thank you so much for the super sticker for $5 Australian. It's my favorite teal pair. saying keep it up. And he's working those weights. I need that. Thank you so much for that. Oh, Fat Steven, you are hosting something on Tuesday, right?
Ooh.
Did I miss that?
No, I was waiting for people to go. Yeah, tonight, after this wraps up in about maybe just under an hour, Ord's Script Doctor and Fuel the Hatred are going back to the 80s Switzerland to fight AIs and giant robots back in Generation Zero.
Right.
Tuesday night, the Comic Roundtable, usually, which is the new name for it, that usually is held on Loki's Mornings of Mischief, is now on the rotational schedule. I will be hosting the first night on my channel. So if you haven't subbed or don't know where I am, link is in the chat. It'll be posted later.
Link is also
come and see it.
Description.
I will be doing another deep dive into WandaVision because episode, whatever number it is now, because I can't remember, it is interesting. 4 or 5,
Yeah,
I guess. Has some nice little tidbits like the Fantastic Four that people have just totally missed. But it's going to be fun. And other than that, yeah, I will be doing my normal game streams during the weeks on the mornings, and hopefully Stig will give some more knowledge about his retro gaming. We can work something out.
Cool. Yeah, Steve, we got to get you on the lunch table.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we do.
I'll wear my best shirt.
Well, that's great. And your best snow shovel.
It's gonna.
Yeah, it says AC/DC on it.
Oh, cool.
Now that's cool. That's cool. Folks, for those who missed it, we had a special stream at 1 p.m. today with Drunk 3PO. So he was basically talking about his charity that he's going to be having a charity stream for on the 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern. So we had a really, really cool, almost 3-hour stream.
It was amazing.
With Jay on. So you're going to have to go and watch the replay over on my channel. It was an awesome time. All the people who donated super chats, thank you so much. All of that is actually going to be donated during Jay's charity stream. So thanks so much for those who did super chats during the stream. And if you didn't, don't worry about it. You can still donate. The charity link is in the description. And if you can't donate, you know what? Just send the link out. Yeah, just share the link out. Share the site out for Operation Underground Railroad. Yeah.
Sorry. There's also one more thing. If you guys can't donate, I suggest checking out their online store. Like they have a lot of other stuff that probably that funding also goes towards their charity. But their baseball caps, especially their snapbacks, look very tight when it comes to the color scheme. And Jay was wearing one today, so
I need that quarter zip.
Sorry, I agree. Yeah, all I'm gonna say is if you can't donate, check out the store. If you can't do that, just post the links of their org, share out their Twitter. Just every little bit helps. It goes against human trafficking.
It does. And of course, for me, folks, you'll be able to see me tomorrow, 10 o'clock on Toxic Femininity, and keep your eyes out for when we announce the live stream for Friday for the lunch table hosted by myself and Fat Steven. I forget who's there this week, but
what number is it?
Oh gosh,
I think the 5th. I think it's
Rowan Ginger Raven. I just had a
yes.
So that's
just like a rabbit. Yes.
That's going to be awesome. So please, again, subscribe to everyone on the panel. Even if you think you're subscribed, please double check to make sure you are still subscribed because YouTube is on that yes and is unsubscribed table. Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, is it by the part? By part?
It's about the bye part, but I thought you had something else to say.
Everyone have a good night. Keep safe, keep happy, and find some escapism.
Exactly. Good night. See you next time.